It's been a long time since I have updated the Owlbot website, mostly because I don't need it as a point of entry for people to see what I do. I think I do a good enough job now as it is, but I've added something up here at the top. You see, we got the shop, we got the podcast, frame and reference, we got the light comparator. This is the new thing that I've added that I think you might be interested in. So you click that, and you're presented with this. Now, what I did back in 2021 was I went to Film Tools and I metered every light they had on the floor. And then I paid a guy $800 to make this website, and he didn't. Long story short, he kind of dragged me around for 6 months. I think he fell on hard times. I'm not going to like full on blame him, but it's been 5 years since I've been thinking about this project, and I finally got it made. So here it is. What you've got is a comparator, right? So you can pick a light, let's say aperture, let's say RE orbiter and RE sky panel. And it'll give you the things that are saved out of my Seaconic C800, which is my color meter. And then it'll show you the spectral output. In this case, you've got CRI, you got TM30, you got white balance. So spectral output, pretty self-explanatory. CRI is the color rendering index. We don't really use this anymore, but it is one of the things saved out of the C800. So why not leave it in there? A lot of people are interested in CRI. This is more for the human eye as an observer, and cameras don't technically see this. RA is your overall value. R9 seems to be a value people are very interested in. R15 is supposed to be skin tones, but as we can see, those tend to lean a little Caucasian. And then down here, you can switch between 5600 and 3200, which are the two settings that I set on the light when I meter it, because those are going to be the two things you tend to use. I could go through and do a 4300 thing, but yeah, this is free. So whatever, these are going to be the two things that you can do, and you can compare them on both sides. And then down here, you've got your color correction, or your white balance rather. So it was set to 5600. This is what it read at the time. CRI reading. We don't tend to use this anymore because it only uses 15 patches, and it's using the human eye as an observer. If we go to TM30, which is a little more robust, it uses 99 patches, and you've got RG, which is gamut, and RF, which is fidelity, and then RA here is your CRI rating. So in this case, we've got a TM30, we've got a RF of 96, as you can see here. RF is ranged from 0 to 100, and a higher score indicates better color accuracy, and RG is ostensibly saturation. So it'll go past 100, meaning that things are more saturated. Things in front of the light will appear more saturated. So with RF, I think you want to be at least above, like around 80 or higher. RG, anything closer to 100. As you can see here, there's green and red things, higher value, lower value. I have left that off the TM30 for now until I can figure out how to code that. It's kind of hard to compare TM30 values because it's kind of like, maybe you do want things to be more saturated. I don't know. And then TLCI, that's the better version of CRI. That's not in a chart, but a higher TLCI up to 100 is better. SSIT is the similarity to a true tungsten source, and SSID is the similarity to a true daylight source. So if you hit 3200 and 5600, if this D value was higher than this, you're in trouble with whatever this light was going to be. But as you can see, it's not. So just be aware when you're looking at the spectral similarity index numbers. If you're looking at 32, That's interesting that this one, the orbiter is higher in the daylight value, but that's not necessarily what you're looking for. So something fun I like to show people, because I've always been a big proponent of Kino Flow, and this is why when I did this test 5 years ago, look at this. Kino Flow on the right, sky panel on the left. Kino Flow beats it handily. Now, the sky panel does pretty much hit 5600 on the nose, right? If we look at the white balance, it's basically dead on. This one runs a little cool at, a little mental math. Yeah, it runs warmer. Runs cooler? It's lower. I guess it depends on the reference. But in any case, if we look at the spectral output, a lot fuller on the Kino Flow, right? CRI, way better. TM30, way more smooth. With a TM30, you want it to basically hug this black circle for a like neutral light. You'll see the sky panel bounces around. That's because the sky panel is very old technology. But you do get more brightness with the sky panel. Now, I could theoretically show you a brightness value, because these are just parsed from the Excel sheet that the C800 kicks out, but I can't standardize that. You know, even this is supposed to only be sort of a rough estimate, because this, whatever situation I meter it in, as best as I can, I'll try to keep it the same. But as I go through life and collect more lights for this website, you should only think of it as one relatively accurate data point and not the sort of standard, because this is not going to be standardized. I am a cinematographer and not a scientist. So, yeah, the Kino Flows are just always better than the sky panels, except for in brightness. I just know that intrinsically. But, you know, you got an aperture. You'll notice if you pick a light that is only daylight, for instance, or only tungsten. So, like we have the Inca 6 is only tungsten. So it'll only give you a 3200 option. Aperture 1200D or 120D2 is only 56, so you can't screw that up. There you go. And hopefully this is valuable to you in some way. And enjoy. I will update it as I go through my life. But like I said, I did all these lights in 2021, so I think some of these don't exist anymore, if I'm honest. Like, I don't know if the Cine Studio still exists, but in any case, that's the tool. Use it as you see fit, and I'm just happy to be here.